Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, I'm going to show you how to fix that wrist pain that you get with your front rack position. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Thursday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this. All right, like I said, today we're gonna be looking at your wrist pain that you're getting during your front rack position and that discomfort in the wrist in the front rack position. So we're gonna mobilize using a simple resistance band in a few different areas, and then we're gonna look at the motor patterning itself. It's a simple approach, but it will be very effective if you can get yourself to go about it consistently and really work at the structure that you're creating when you are working in the front rack. So let's go ahead and dive into it here. All right, the very first thing we're gonna do is a wrist mobilization with the band on the back of the wrist. You want your band anchored lower than your bench height here. And we're gonna be leaning into the wrist with the shoulders down and back and the band on the back of the wrist so that we're helping improve the extension of the wrist. Now it can be really helpful to take a second to actually pin the hand down and pull that wrist away from the hand in that position to provide a little bit more space. Then, keeping the hand planted firmly, you're gonna turn and rotate so the shoulder is in external rotation here and stays planted with the shoulder blades down and back. You should get a big stretch down that forearm as that band's trying to pull the hand off the bench here. So these two are working that wrist extension, and we are gonna test the flexion a little bit here as well. So you can place it on the inside of the wrist here, right where it meets the forearm again. Pull it out to the bench and then pin that hand down palm to palm. Shoulder blades down and back, and then we want to work external rotation of the shoulder once again. So rotating the elbow in toward the ribs and keeping it toward yourself as you're in there. You can try a few reps with it to see how it feels working in and out of that position. Next, keeping the band at the same anchor point, we're going to do a little bit of flexion gapping at the elbow. A big problem for a lot of people is that their elbows do not get into full flexion because their triceps and their biceps actually get in the way of the depth of their flexion of the elbow. So here we're going to pull it down, creating a gapping effect while we're in a plank-like position. Shoulder blades down and back, butt tight, stomach tight, and you can roll the palms, palm to mat, palm to ceiling, and this is going to give a little bit of self-myofascial release in this position as well. You can see I have my foot anchored on the post as well so that I'm not slipping or getting pulled down by the band in that position. And the last of the mobilities is working our shoulder flexion in a banded distraction position again. So I'm gonna place my elbow in the band so it's at the tip of my elbow, and then I'm gonna rotate so that my elbow gets pulled to the ceiling. I want my butt tight, stomach tight, and shoulder blades down and back in this position. And I am actually opening my palm, imagining that I did have a bar sitting across that palm, although the band will be pressing into it. So my fingers are interlaced initially where my middle and ring finger are hugging that band, but then I open it up. You can play a little bit with your head and neck in this position, and you can also play with the elbow positioning. So go vertical to the ceiling and then see if you can actually open it up to the side a little bit a few times, play with those different angles and see where it's tight. It might be pulling directly in those triceps and the lats. It might be on the top of the shoulder where you need to work on relaxing the upper trap, levator scapula, and even the rotator's cuff getting a little bit of work here as well. All right, and the final thing we're gonna touch on here is your motor patterning and setup in the first place. So when we grip that bar, we wanna be just wider than shoulders width apart with an over grip so you're into your smallest fingers, okay? So you can see a little hump at my wrist there, over gripping the bar in the first place. I'm gonna rotate my elbows down and back and then scoop under the bar so it sits right across my upper front deltoid there, close to my neck, close to my collarbone, but in a good comfortable position across those deltoids. You can see my elbows are pointing straight forward, my hands are literally just outside of my shoulders there, and there's really not a lot of extension to my wrist. And what you'll see from the side here is that there's actually a full grip in this position as well. So as I turn to the side, you'll see that you can see I have a complete grip on the bar. My fingers are not getting extended at all. And this takes time, but it is something that you can achieve. All right, and there you have it. 3 simple mobilities you can use regularly to help open up range of motion and flexibility through the system of your arm, plus a little bit of a motor patterning tweak to help you maximize your front rack position and make it pain-free. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend who's always complaining about their wrist being sore after doing front rack or having to switch their grip because of the front rack overall. So pass it their way, they'll be thankful for it. If you're a dad who wants to improve his overall mobility in the next 12 weeks or struggles with shoulder, elbow, wrist pain, any of those issues, what you need to do is drop down in the description right below and fill out the coaching application so that we can get you moving in the right direction with your mobility so you can train pain-free. So down in the description, coaching application, we'll get you headed with the right steps in the right direction here. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Thursday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve the aches, resolve the pains, and overall improve your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine, and it does not get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. See you next week.